So my name is David T. Porton, and I'm a Vice President at North American Bank Card in Troy, Michigan. We're here today to talk to you about our mobile payment solution. Its name is PayAnywhere. I hope there's some brand familiarity out there among those listening to me right now. Our mobile payment application is a 2.5-year-old product. We're loading about 30,000 new customer accounts each and every month, and we're excited to now be partnered with AiN. So we're going to tell you today about this mobile payment app, which will enable dealers to get paid anywhere at any time, and we'll run through the features and functionality of the app and talk about its benefits. So as I mentioned, a little bit about us. PayAnywhere is a wholly owned sub of North American Bank Card. We're a 21-year-old payment services company based in Troy. Over on the left here, obviously, some of the metrics about us. We have over 600 employees total, and obviously are a total payment services provider, providing solutions that enable card acceptance in all environments and for virtually every vertical, every merchant segment out there. We processed over $13 billion in total sales in 2012, have over 250,000 merchants all across the United States, and like so many other companies, in our industry, have really moved from being a simple merchant account provider to really being a software developer and a software and services company ourselves, and that's certainly being driven by our being the manufacturer of this mobile payment app. That building to the right there, that's what I'm sitting in at this moment. And I guess the reason for the picture is to just put across the point that we are a real payment services company. I think that probably everybody listening to me knows that there are a whole bunch of people out there who can simply sell you a merchant account, and that's not what we're all about. We're all about long-term and meaningful business relationships with our customers. We've obviously been fully vetted by AiN, and that's why our solution is being made available to you. I should tell you a little bit about our team as well. Obviously, we're 600 plus employees, but our division, which I've mentioned, is the Specialty Markets Group. We're really in the business of developing and managing partner relationships, and have all sorts of those. On our team, we're hoping obviously that you do business with us, and you're going to hear the names. You'll be hearing about Leo Carey and Fred Rose. In fact, those two gentlemen are with Stan right now in Florida on the van tour, meeting a bunch of dealers, and Peter Financiero on our support team as well. I jumped ahead a bit, but that's okay. So right there. Oh, am I missing a slide? Sorry about that. So let's look at the mobile market here. Yeah, it's all right. Let's look a little bit at the mobile marketplace, and this data is pretty obvious. It is showing the very significant growth in debit volume. It was just a few years ago that debit volume exceeded credit card volume. That's important even in the AiN dealer world, as there are business debit card products as well. And again, the other point of this slide is just to make the point that the bank card value proposition is a compelling one, and it continues to grow by leaps and bounds. The migration of payments from cash and checks to plastic continues, and with the growth of mobile payment acceptance products, that that just is being driven ever higher. So let's take a look at our program itself, something that we've designed specifically for the AiN dealer network. It's a three-tiered pricing program of sorts. What we have built here is a program that charges either 1.69% or 2.69% for any swiped transaction. So those are the rates that apply when the card is present. And I suppose it's important to note that the primary piece of the value proposition with this mobile payment app for AiN dealers is to move these payment transactions from the current card not present environment into a card present or card swiped environment. So right now we know that AiN dealers accepting Visa and MasterCard, Discover, and American Express card payments, are doing so primarily by phone or by mail, or they might be installment payments. Regardless, the card holder and the card aren't present, and when the card isn't present, that obviously entails higher risk and higher rates. So the mobile payment app enables, accepting that card payment on site, which drives really two very important things. It allows for a much lower rate on that payment transaction, a lower discount rate, and it significantly reduces chargeback risk as well. So where the card is present, where it's swiped, where there's a full read of the magstripe data on the back of the card, there is less chargeback risk because there are far fewer chargeback rates for cardholders and for issuers in that situation. So we're actually out in the field right now, as I mentioned, 2 members of our team in Florida, learning about the AiN dealer network and getting an understanding of the kind of points of pain that they've had over the years where bank card payments are involved, and I'm interested to hear about the number of chargebacks that dealers are forced to to deal with over the course of a year. Certainly at your transaction level, even one chargeback in the course of a year's sale is a painful thing. So again, 1.69 or 2.69% is what we charge, and it's a compelling value proposition because we're charging 1.69% for these card types. It is for Visa, MasterCard, and Discover debit card transactions, Visa, MasterCard, and Discover consumer credit non-rewards credit card transactions, and all American Express transactions. That's what we charge you, just 1.69%, period, all-inclusive. That's it, no transaction fee. Okay? And then in the second bucket, we charge 2.69% for a transaction that involves a Visa, MasterCard, or Discover consumer credit rewards card. So that's, I'm sure everybody has one of those in their wallet. That's a bank card that rewards you with points or frequent flyer miles or what have you. And then also for Visa and MasterCard commercial card products. And those commercial card products are corporate cards, business cards, and purchasing cards. Okay? And again, 2.69% all in. That's it. No transaction fee. In addition to that, there is a $12.95 per month account fee, but there are no minimums, and there is no long-term commitment. It is a 30-day agreement. That's all there is to it. Okay. Next bullet is an important one, and that is we do provide next-day funding for all transactions processed on the PayAnywhere app, and that's with a cutoff time of 5 p.m. Okay, In addition to that, there is free access to our portal. Adam talked about his. We also, of course, have a reporting portal accessed online where all the transaction data is reported in real time, and there's all sorts of business metrics available as well. Okay. This data is a little bit dated, but kind of makes the point in regard to, again, the increase in non-cash payments. Everything is migrating to plastic, and again, it is mobile now that we're seeing driving a lot of that growth. Uh-oh. All right, so let's take a look a little bit deeper look now at our solution itself, and I guess now from a hardware perspective, you see on the right-hand side right here our card reader, or what in the mobile payment world is called the dongle. That is provided free with an account. Okay. I should backtrack a bit and just go back to contrast the pricing that you just talked about and that you see on this slide here, right, the 1.69 and 2.69% pricing. I'm sure that everybody's going to, see our name. You're probably tempted to go out to PayAnywhere.com and take a look at our solution, and that's great. We certainly encourage you to do that. If you were to do that, I just want you to know that the pricing that you'll see at PayAnywhere.com, which is pricing available to the general public, is far less compelling pricing than what is being offered to AiN. In fact, the pricing available to the masses or to anybody who were to just go to that site and sign up, and again, by the way, about 20,000 individuals or small businesses do that each and every month. Excuse me. That pricing begins at 2.69%. Okay, so for AiN, there's a full 1% or 100 basis points shaved off of the pricing. So again, back to the hardware solutions. There is, of course, a free card reader provided for AiN. Whether a dealer needs 5 card readers or 50 card readers, those are all provided at no cost. Okay. The app is both iOS and Android compatible, of course. And as to hardware, what we're going to be doing and what's underway in Florida right now is a needs assessment of each and every dealer. So it may be the case that one AiN dealer is predisposed to using Apple devices or maybe specifically iPhones. If that's the case, then great. We might be providing some iPhones. We might be providing some iPads. All of that is going to be absolutely dealer dependent. Again, another dealer might be predisposed to using Android devices or want Android devices for some reason as opposed to iOS. Again, we'll look at that on an individual basis and provide in hardware whatever is needed, whatever is desired. Okay. On this slide, that last bullet, if I could make this presentation, if I were to say there's just one overriding and all-important point about the presentation, it is this bullet right here, and that is that we provide live customer support via phone and chat. Okay, so back to the picture of our building that I had up on the first slide. One floor above me is our call center. There are a staff of about 105 customer service and technical support people. Okay, so we have bodies up there who are taking phone calls all day, every day from our customers who have questions about the configuration of the app, what it can do, how do I plug in that reader, how do I swipe the card, please tell me how much I'm getting paid tomorrow. All of those questions that, quite frankly, our competitors, when it comes to support, are simply email, and we shop those competitors all the time, and there aren't very prompt answers to any email questions that are submitted. So we're, again, a support organization that will take your calls and answer them in a timely manner. Okay, and click. Thank you very much. All right. So again, little on this slide, somewhat repetitive information. Again, the app is absolutely free, be it for iOS or Android devices. It is a free professional grade card reader. What that means is that our reader fully encrypts the data, and as is shown in this slide down below here, it is a PCI compliant and certified reader. That's important because I don't know if everybody's familiar with this term PCI. That's a reference to the payment card industry data security standard. You've probably read in the news about about businesses who've been hacked, who've had thousands or maybe in some cases millions of card numbers stolen from their systems, and securing that data and ensuring that you're using PCI compliant devices is a very, very important thing. Okay, so the app itself is really, its functionality, its basic functionality in terms of any of the transactions, be it a sale or a refund or a void or a forced transaction, is really no different than how those transactions are run on any kind of payment application, be it in a standalone credit card terminal, the kind that have been on retail counters for decades, or in any kind of online interface. Point here is making a sale is really very easy. It's a very intuitive software application, easy to use, easy to understand. We have videos that lead you through all of the transaction types. Probably most importantly for AiN, we have some bodies to support specifically your group. Okay, so imagine yourself or any of your people out in the field. That card reader that you saw a picture of is attached to the audio jack of an iPad or an Android tablet, or maybe an iPhone or any kind of Android phone, and you simply take that card, swipe it through the card reader, and the sales screen appears, an amount is keyed in, and the app then goes out via the internet, be it through a cellular connection or a Wi-Fi, obtains an authorization, comes back with hopefully an approval. The customer then signs, and that is that. And again, the point being, and I can't make this point enough because it's really the primary piece of the value proposition, and that is in moving your transactions right now from that card not present world where you might be running a transaction through some kind of through your order entry system or an accounting system, moving that now into the field and being able to collect payment on site and doing that at less risk and for much less cost. Okay, just some other functionality in regard to the app itself. And by the way, we're on release 3 of this app right now. And as is of course true with any kind of software application, including our payment app, the features, the functionality of the app are always being added to. And I should make the point, this is our app. We are, I know I used the term earlier, we are the manufacturer. I'm on the second floor of our building. Down on the first floor is our development team. They are 80 bodies strong at this point, and of course, under development right now are versions of the app that will do lots more stuff and will do certain things for different kinds of businesses. Okay, but one thing to make everybody aware of today is its ability to hold an inventory. My apologies for the images of the food items on the left. In your mind, replace the images of the food items with the products that you sell. So a technician or a salesperson of yours out in the field would have an inventory, and by the way, we will assist with with configuring the software for you and putting inventory items into the inventory module. It's just simply a matter then of tapping the image of that product that you're selling. It would have been automatically priced. You then just simply tap the green arrow that you see my cursor touching right there, and the authorization would then be in process. Okay. This slide makes the point that you can either run an express sale or a manual sale, meaning you can either choose to have have your products in the inventory module or not. If not, then you would simply run a manual sale. You could, if you wanted to, even take a picture at the time of the sale and attach it to the sale transaction. It would appear in the receipt. Okay, again, the app is just very simple to use. It's very intuitive, simple to navigate, nothing to it. Once a card is swiped, again, you see the check mark there. That is an approval of the transaction. Okay. When that receipt screen appears, the customer, whoever is buying that product from you, simply signs the screen of that iPad or Android tablet or iPhone or whatever hardware is being used, and then out goes a copy of the receipt. Obviously, an email address is captured at the time of the sale. It's keyed in, and out goes a copy of the receipt to your customer. And that receipt copy, it's very cool. It includes an image of your company logo. It has a picture of the product sold. Okay, and there's even on there a heat map showing the location of the sale. And that's actually, beyond cool. That's also, there's a lot of value there, because we see all the time in our business that there's confusion on the part of the cardholder in regard to what it is they bought. They often can't remember. They don't recognize the name of the merchant that they bought this product from. All of that confusion goes away when pictures appear on the receipts. Okay. Our reporting portal. There's not a whole lot of information here. As Adam talked about, and I think it's kind of standard for reporting portals. We too, and I'm sorry it's not really shown here graphically very well, but there are all sorts of custom alerts that can be set up in the merchant portal. First of all, and access to the portal is absolutely free. In there you're going to see in real time all of your account activity. Okay, so you'll see exactly what everybody out in the field is selling. So if you are the owner or the manager of the business, if you want to see what's going on in the field, you'll be able to log into the portal and see what any technician, any salesperson has actually sold at any given moment. Okay, and again, there is the ability to set up alerts that might alert you to a first sale, for instance, by any person on your team. It might alert you to sales being transacted over a given amount. There is a whole menu of alerts that you can set up. There is then also the means in the portal itself to export transaction data via, create a CSV file, which you then might choose to import into your accounting system. There's also a QuickBooks integration as well. Okay. And all right, so we know that we're talking about mobile, and that's all good. That's all cool. Again, the opportunity for expense reduction and a risk reduction comes with moving transactions from the current card not present environment, onto a mobile device where there's a swipe of the card. But we know that it's probably the case that there isn't the opportunity to move everything to a mobile or on-site transaction. So again, on a case-by-case basis, and this process has already started, we're already collecting copies of merchant account statements from all sorts of dealers, and we'll also then do a full assessment of your needs for those transactions that can't migrate to a mobile device, and we're wanting to be your merchant account provider for that piece of your business as well. Okay, so that might involve transactions currently that are possibly installment payments or just payments taken by phone. We know that some of you are running the Mass 90 accounting system. Others, there's a whole host of things that software systems that you might be running payments through. Regardless of what they are, we can handle those as well, and we're going to save you money on those ones as well. Okay? So what do we want you to do? Well, we want to begin by having you take a look at PayAnywhere, and I'm sorry, I thought there was a link on here, but oops, go back. All right, so we have set up a custom apply site for AiN dealers. I'm sorry, I thought it was on that slide, but it's not. Yeah. So what it is, we'll email this out to everybody because it's not on the slide for some reason. But it is PayAnywhere.com/AiN Group. Okay, and by signing up for an account at that site on that link, and it is a custom apply site, you'll see at PayAnywhere.com/AiN Group. You'll see Fred Rose's name shown. You'll see Fred's contact information, and by filling out the, I think, just 8 data fields on that apply site, you'll be signed up, and that's really all there is to it. And that's how you get that special pricing that I talked about earlier, the 1.69 or the 2.69% pricing. Okay? For anything that is not mobile, we want to be in touch with you in regard so that we can, collect all the information we need to give you a valid, a precise pricing proposal for that other piece of your business. Okay, and all of you are currently merchant account. You all have merchant accounts. We know that. We know that you understand that that this is a credit relationship that requires a proper underwriting. So for that other piece of your business, we'll ask you for copies of merchant account statements from your current provider, possibly bank statements as well. The point of that is to ensure that everything is is set up correctly, that we understand the proper parameters, we understand your correct average ticket size. We know what the volume of sales is over the course of the year. All of that is important in terms of getting the account set up correctly at the outset. This slide should have been more towards the front of the presentation. No big deal. Here are some of the some different associations we work with today. The point of this is that we are anything but new to the business of association or partner management. All of these organizations that you see on this slide, all of them are currently using PayAnywhere and using us for other payment processing services as well. Yes, very good. Let me go back one. Excuse me, one slide that wasn't there, and this is a great way to end this. For everyone who has participated in today's webinar and who signs up for a PayAnywhere account within the next 30 days gets $1,000 in processing at no cost whatsoever. Okay? So that's a cool way to end it. And Todd, that said, back to you.
Thank you very much, David. And thank you again to you, Adam, as well. Great presentations. We will now open with the question and answer segment of this session. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and or type your question into the chat window, and we'll be happy to address those right away. So we'll wait just a couple minutes to allow folks to type in their questions, David and Adam, and or we will allow you to open up and speak your question by raising your hand. Just press the little hand symbol and we will go through that. Okay, are there any questions from any of today's attendees on the line for either Adam or David? We'll continue to wait just a moment here. If anybody has a question, please feel free to ask that question by raising your hand or typing the question into your chat window.
Still on David's screen, Todd. You want to grab control of that?
Yeah, David.
Yeah.
We can still see your screen, so one moment here. There, I've changed that.
I think both presentations were so amazing and so all-encompassing there are no questions.
You guys have done an awesome job today.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we don't have anybody that has raised their hand or typed a question in that hasn't been addressed by you, Adam, or you, David. So with that, we will complete today's webinars. And again, thank you to both Adam and David for great presentations. We hope everybody has a great day and that you've enjoyed today's webinar. Thank you and goodbye.